Hey, this is the second movie in the series on creating your book trailer for your language arts project. Once you have gathered all of your images and your audio and you have your bibliography ready, it's time now to start building your book trailer using Movie Maker. So you're going to click on the Start button at the bottom left of your screen, and in the search bar, you're going to type Movie, and you're going to select Movie Maker 6.0. And just like you did with the Word document for your bibliography, as soon as you open the program, you're going to go to File, Save Project As, and you're going to your location on the server. You're going to the folder that you created for this project, where you have saved all files for this project, and you're going to give it a name. Just like your mama gave you a name, give this project a name. So if it were me, I would name it the title of my book and save. Within Movie Maker, you have your tasks over here to the left. 3 very easy tasks. You import your media, you edit your project, and then you convert your project to a movie so that it's ready to publish. So your first task is to import. So we're going to start by importing our pictures. And you have saved all of your pictures and all of the media that you need in your folder. So if you just click and drag, it highlights everything, and you can import all of that at one time. Here's all of your images that you need. So I'm going to start with my maze that I have. I'm going to add any other images that I need. No, there's not really a koala in the book. This is just a cute little picture, so I'm including it. I'm also going to add my music and my audio. So I'm going to select audio or music. And again, I'm going back to my location on the server. I'm going back to the folder in which I saved all of the files for this project, selecting the audio. And once I drag that down, I can adjust it anywhere on my timeline. Now, when you first import your images, you may not see this timeline view. You might see this storyboard view. So it just depends. You can go back and forth. It's called toggling back and forth. So you can toggle between storyboard and timeline view. Back in timeline view, I have a little bit of space between when my movie starts and when my music starts. I'm going to just drag my music back down so that it all starts at the same place. And over here you can see that my movie ends, but my music continues. That's not going to work very well. So I'm going to take this green scrub bar and I'm going to drag it down to where my movie ends. Then I'm going to select the audio file and I'm going up to Clip, Split, and it just split my audio into 2 separate files. So now I can delete the part that extends beyond my movie. Now if I do that, what's going to happen is my music is going to just abruptly stop, and I may not want it to do that. So all I have to do is right click on my audio file and tell it to fade out. Alright, now sometimes my clips might show a little bit longer or not quite as long as I want them to. Each clip will show by default for a duration of 5 seconds. See, my lighthouse duration is 5 seconds, my koala duration is 5 seconds. If I want to change that, all I have to do is click and drag and notice how my duration changes. Please do not have a still image show for 11 seconds. That's just way too long, and don't do that to your viewers. That's a mean trick to play on them. But you can adjust it a little if you need to. So now we have imported our media, our pictures and our audio, and now it's time for the fun part for us to do our edits. So we're going to first look at our effects. The effects are what's really going to help set the mood and tone for your video, so use them wisely. You have several effects to choose from, and it's really fun to play with them. But again, use them wisely. Don't get carried away. Some of the good effects that you can use that will help to make your still image look like it's a moving image is ease in, ease out. Let's just bring our ease in down over our koala. And this panning will also make your video look like you have actual animation in there. I want to move my koala in front of my lighthouse, so all I have to do is click and drag it over. And then I'm going to go back to my timeline. And it's that easy to go back and forth between the two of them. Alright, so I've used my effects. Now I want to use some transitions. Again, use transitions that are going to help reflect the tone and mood of your project. If you have a real lighthearted project, you might want to choose something fun like the dialogue box or the circles. But in something serious like Maze Runner, you might want to choose a dissolve transition. Or if something is not going very well and you want to get that point across, you might want to use the dissolve rough transition. Just be judicious in the transitions you choose. Don't choose something just because it's fun and you like it. For this project, choose something that's going to help re-establish the tone and mood of your book. The last thing that we're going to do is our titles and our credits. You have 4 different options. You can do a title at the very beginning of your movie. This is the title that you see at the very beginning of the movie. You can do a title before a selected clip. That would be right here before this clip. You can do a title on the selected clip, so that means it would show up over the image. Or you can do credits at the end, which means it'll show up at the very end of your movie. These are the scrolling credits that you see that show up at the end of your movie. So when you do your text in Movie Maker, you can type your text here. Now, I strongly suggest that you type your text in Word to begin with so that you won't have any spelling errors. When you type in Movie Maker, they won't catch spelling errors because it's not designed to do that. So if you type it in Word first, then you can go ahead, catch your errors, and that way you're not embarrassed by getting your final product finished only to find out you have some errors. Highlight the text that you want to include, right-click copy it, go back to your Movie Maker, and paste it in that text box. Then you can change your text animation if you want. See a preview over on the right. Again, choose animation that is going to help set the mood and tone for your book. That's way too happy for Maze Runner. So choose something that's going to help set the mood and tone for your book. You can edit the animation. You can also edit the font and color. Fonts, change your background color. It being a maze, I think a green background might be better. Change your font color to yellow. And then when you're finished, you can choose Add Title. And here's your title. So let's add some other transitions here so that you can see how all of this comes together. So right here, you can either press your spacebar or press the play button on your viewer. Okay, 2 things I want to point out to you. One, when we had our preview of our canyon, notice how the effect that we chose, the pan made it look like we had some video in there, not just a still image. And our koala, because we chose zoom, it made it look like we were zooming in on that koala. So it gave your static image a little bit more animation. The other thing I want to point out is if we zoom in on our timeline, our music doesn't start exactly at the very beginning of our video. If you want it to start at the very beginning, you can just click and drag it down. Once you've finished all of your project, you have everything exactly the way you want, your last step is to choose Publish, and I'll cover that in our last video. Remember, as you're working on your project, save and save often. It's super important and very easy to do. You can either do File S like Save on your keyboard, or you can do File Save Project. This is really important because Movie Maker might all of a sudden just stop on you and you'll lose all of your work, and I'd hate for that to happen. Okay, happy editing.